Very pleased to welcome Mr. Mustapha Aanzi, Chief Commercial Officer at IBECE Energy. Thank you very much for being with us. We're days ahead away from COP28, as you know. We would like to know to talk about green buildings. It's a very wide topic in the Middle East and worldwide. What can we do? What are the opportunities and what are the challenges that we are having? Real challenges and real opportunities.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting us for this interview. So definitely there are significant opportunities in the market. We have seen both public and private entities committing to net zero targets in the next couple of decades. Yeah. So the targets are set. Now we need to find a way to deliver on those. So that brings us to the challenges, which actually are a couple. One of them is understanding where you are positioned in terms of performance. There's a lack of or a gap in terms of benchmarking. So if you are a building owner and you want to understand if you are performing very well or average or below average, that data is not easy accessible. Yeah. On the other hand, we need to look also at new business models that can help us expedite the market. In the last 10 years, we have seen the ESCO model actually picking up quite well in the region. Yeah. There are a couple of super ESCOs, so-called government ESCO companies, who put projects in the market. Mainly these projects are driven by guaranteed and shared savings models. However, we believe that at this stage we need to diversify those models, looking at as-a-service models, looking at, for example, PPAs, power purchase agreements. So this will help the service company to diversify their portfolio. Yeah. They would be able to guarantee savings, at the same time provide as-a-service solutions, like for example cooling as a service, and also for example selling solar produced energy.
We've been noticing a lot, we've been hearing a lot of theories, lots of theoretical talk going on at different conferences. What about implementation? We at ESG MENA believe that implementation is the key, especially in your sector.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we can discuss for a long time on models, but what we need is real action, definitely. So that action is driven by a few parameters, which are, for example, monetary savings and economics. Yeah. So having a tariff that is reflecting the real impact of climate change would be helping the business case. At the same time, also creating or enforcement of certain minimum standards for buildings in the region, so that everyone can work towards a certain minimum. At the same time, also awareness education for the market, for stakeholders, because unfortunately we see when it comes to ESCO project or sustainability that these are considered as a commodity. Yeah. You compare a BOQ with a BOQ and you go for the cheapest price, but actually these companies are providing you with the added value service. Yeah. So
we at ESG MENA, the first and only ESG knowledge hub in the MENA region, have been hearing too soon, not yet, from the design firms, for example, and from the different developers. Not all of them, of course, but many of them. How can we develop knowledge sharing and literacy in your subsector and sector?
Okay. Yeah, it's a very interesting question. I think we need to work with various stakeholders, look at the chain, the value chain of the assets, so from the developer, from the operator, from the asset management company, the facility management companies. So all these stakeholders are there for a long or maybe also a short duration, and we need to enable them and help them to deliver their part of the activities in the chain as efficiently as possible. So for example, when it comes to developers, doing knowledge sharing workshops and bringing them up to speed with the newest technologies, newest efficiencies, issues, but at the same time also try to fix these issues in the market that you have, where you have a developer who invests, and then you have an operator who pays the energy bill. So the investor basically wants to minimize the costs.
Knowledge sharing also plays a major role across different geographies, from Europe to the US, Japan, Singapore, Asia, and the Middle East, and also within the Middle East, and also within the UAE. How can we maximize the impact of knowledge sharing?
Okay. Well, if you see, for example, today here we are at the CBC Annual Summit, which brings together various stakeholders from the market, from the region. And the CBC is active in the Middle East and North African region. Besides that, there are also other organizations here in the region who try to stimulate collaboration with Europe and other parts of the world. Because definitely, like you said, when we do the knowledge sharing, we can expedite, we can move faster, we can incorporate the lessons learned in developing our...
What about laws? How can we basically integrate laws and unify laws?
Laws, that's also definitely a good question. But laws, because here, let's say, there are various entities that are involved in legislation and putting laws into place. I think the fastest way is to see if we can look at it at a federal level, because when you look at the federal level, that would be like across the country, rather than looking at the local entities that are active on the ground.
Mustapha, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.